Good evening. The mayor mobilized an army of volunteers to stop Devil's Night fires. One fire official says tonight's arson fires are the worst since 1984. But in many parts of Detroit, the people appear to be winning. It's calm. In pockets of Detroit, of course, the arsonists appear to be winning. Now, these pictures we're showing you are just in to us from the east side. The east side, hardly what you'd see on a typical night in Detroit.
Amongst other terrifying colonies, the House of Krazees consists of three of the most horrifying humans known to man. A mysterious trinity of unexplainable subhuman cannibalistic behavior. A mass of evil that boggles the mind beyond the point of extinction. The House of Krazees. Let us analyze. The House of Krazees.
He drugged them, then strangled them, and finally dismembered their bodies.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 6 of season 7 of the Juggalo Rewind podcast, your favorite spooky Juggalo podcast.
Spooky. It's the week.
My name's Peter. That's Chris. What is going on this fine Halloween week?
The week is here. We counted down all year, counted down all season. We've given you plenty of things. We'll give you a little bit more this week. You're all here. Everyone's in town. It's happening. It's Halloween week in Detroit. You know what that means.
What does that mean?
Got all sorts of Juggalo shit. Don't got a playoff baseball game, but, you know, weather's good. It's holding up. Not snowing like last year, so I'm excited. Feels good. Feels like fall. Leaves are blowing down the streets.
Not yet.
The great pumpkin floating.
It is Halloween week, and we're dropping this episode, hopefully, a little early, so you will have a chance to listen to this before all of the shows.
That's right.
And why are we doing it that way? Why are you in town?
Tell me.
We're going to talk about it. Well, first, we should explain that we are, as we said,
Pocket Town. Ah.
That too. We're basketball town now.
Now, yeah, it started today as we're recording.
I put money down on them winning more than 35 games.
You're nuts. I was going to say 25, 35, you're pushing it.
They're going to do it. I also put a bet, I don't remember doing it, for the Knicks to win the title. So, let's go on both of those.
On a Coney Hayes. You randomly bet that.
Yeah, I looked at my open bets. I'm like, oh, Jesus, I don't remember that.
Open bets.
All right, anyways.
Yes.
We are your favorite Juggalo podcast. We deep dive into Juggalo albums one track at a time. This season, though, we are doing it a little different. We are doing one HOK era at a time.
Album era, however you want to describe it.
Now we're getting into eras.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that in just a second. Whether you're a longtime fan, a new fan, not a fan at all, not a member of the Juggalo community, or you're knee-deep in it.
I mean, maybe last week, you know, Violent J was making the rounds for endorsing Kamala Harris, so maybe a lot of political pundits are trying to figure out who our Juggalos are, and they're listening as sampling what the Juggalo world's all about.
I can't. Oh, we have a new member.
Oh, yeah. New guest in the studio.
Oh.
I'm very confused by you.
Hello. This may have to get cut. Hi. Hi, Puppy. All right, where were we?
I don't know. Technical difficulties.
But as we were saying, if you're a longtime fan, new fan, not a fan, if you're a Democratic...
Republican. Strategist.
If you're a strategist, you're trying to figure out what those...
The Juggalo vote is. Whoop the vote, as I said.
Did you say that?
I did.
If you haven't checked out our old seasons, go back in the past. We have numerous seasons to go back to, listen to our nonsense. If you have listened to those and you're a regular, you know what we're talking about. You know why we're here. We are talking this season an oral history of the House of Krazees.
House of Krazees. No one could do it better, I hear.
That's what they tell me. And why are we doing this?
Why?
Because as the season's upon us, it's mere hours away. If you're listening to this.
I thought you were about to start singing the Dropkick Christmas song. Season's upon us, really clear.
That is a
brandy and eggnog. Well, first popped in my head when you said it.
We'll do a whole season about that. If you didn't know, which you already should, House of Krazees is coming back this year, October 29th.
That's right.
At the Shelter. And we are doing this season as kind of a lead up to that. We are in the midst. We're in the shadows. It's about to happen. And we're going to wrap this up this season with this last episode for now. Before the big show at St. Andrews. But, the shelter.
The shelter, that's right.
But before we get there, we need to tell you, maybe you're on the fence. Maybe you're listening to this the day before and you're like, what am I going to do?
What are you going to do?
I'm getting the itch. I can feel it in the air. I want to get down there. How do I get tickets?
How?
Well, it changes every week. And it's probably going to change between this second and when you listen to it.
Sure.
So, very quickly, as we said, HOK performing on October 29th at the shelter with special guests, Mastermind, King Gordy.
We went through it all 2 weeks ago. Buckshot, Azul.
Yes. And the Michigan Misfits, and a host of others.
Yes. If you want to hear more about it, last week we dove into that.
Yes.
We already forgot now.
But there are numerous ways that you can get your ass into the shelter. Option one. The HOK Standard VIP package, where you get tickets to HOK on the 29th and Twisted on the 30th. And for the HOK show, you get the VIP treatment, the meet and greet photo op, the signed 11 by 17 poster, the alternate cover of the CD 31, and the commemorative pass and ticket.
Or
Option two.
Option two.
You can get the ultimate VIP.
Ultimate Pumpkin Patch Edition.
Vines and all.
Yeah. Wrapped around your car as you're leaving.
You get all of the above. You get a foil cover CD and cassette.
Cassette, that's cool. Because if you had the box set, you got to slide that right next to it.
Right next to it, yes. You got the Murder, Murder, Murder vinyl, HOK mask, and perhaps a different foil pass and ticket.
Yeah. They posted photos of a lot of the stuff. I didn't look closely enough. They showed like the foil pass and stuff. Yeah, they showed like the Murder 45 has like a white cover with a red.
I didn't see any of those.
Oh yeah, it says Red Rum Murder. It looks pretty cool.
Oh no, I haven't seen.
We'll put it right here.
I did see the alternate cover of 31, which I like.
Yeah, I think they showed that on there, but I didn't notice the foil. I didn't pay that close of attention if they showed that. So if you're looking, if it's there, it is. If it's there, if not, you'll be surprised. I guarantee it.
Okay. So those are your two options to get your HOK VIP goodie bag, and with those you get to see Twisted the next night.
Yeah, you cover your next night with those.
With either of those, you can also add the Fright Fest VIP. So that's for the 30th. That's where you get your tote bag, lanyard pass, show poster, Fright Fest edition of Cryptic Collection, and the trading card, which I saw, and it's actually really cool.
And they showed the Fright Fest. That wasn't that's what they call Cryptic Collection edition, but they showed the cover for the new Fright Fest. Looked pretty cool.
God damn it. Is this all today?
This was last week sometime. I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
The show. Well, we'll get into that.
I think I shared it on our stories, possibly.
I didn't see any of this.
I'm a social media guru.
You are. Anyway.
All you're busy doing is posting your gray ass steak stream like an animal.
Did you see? I did another one today.
Did you see I posted a real steak stream?
Yes. So those you can get your tickets those ways.
Those ways.
That way, those ways.
They, them.
This way in general. But I believe you can also just straight up go on Ticketmaster and get a ticket.
Little general mission boy.
Just for HOK.
Yeah, maybe you're just an old school Detroit hip hop fan. You don't even care about Twisted anymore. You're just like, give me that old House of Krazees. I was there at St. Andrews. I was there when Eminem opened. I'm 40-something years old now, and I'm ready to get back in it.
And they're going to welcome you with open arms.
That's right.
Open pumpkin masks.
Yep. They'll walk in and see the Zool pumpkin mask, the Zool ghoul mask. But what is that? What happened to HOK? They look weirder now. There's 3 of them still. They look strange.
I don't want to.
I know where you're going. Yeah.
So yes, I think you can just, if they didn't sell out, you can just straight up get a ticket now for HOK.
Yeah. And if you just want Twisted, it's also an option.
You can go to Rock of Ages and get those tickets too, which I meant to do today. I didn't have time because I was dealing with my mother.
Yeah.
So.
Tony Soprano life.
I was about to say I wish. Man, I've watched some good episodes of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so fucking funny. Podcast, awesome.
I'm way behind on Curb. Like spooky season threw a wrench in that, so I've stopped. I'm on season like 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. I just finished it was the season after the Michael J. Fox feud one. So yeah, I got to dive back in that to knock it out. But spooky season was upon us. Speaking of, you'll get to a movie I watched for this week. Whew. We'll get to that soon.
Very spooky. Well, we'll get to that soon. But yes, those are all the different ways you can go see HOK on the 29th, which may be today or tomorrow. So if you haven't thought about
Hopefully not yesterday.
If it is, what a show it was.
What a show it was. Unbelievable.
Get down there, come see us, and go through our old episodes this season and get our reviews of what to do, where to go, and we're going to get into that here in a minute too. So
yeah, if you just showed up, we got all sorts of recommendations for you. So hit previous episodes.
Yes.
Hit pause. Hit those next. And leave a review, son of a bitch. Go on.
Well, that's a whole nother story. What to next? So that's how you get to see the HOK, the House of Krazees. You just want to go right into R.O.C?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we got to get him. He's got to get on stage soon. We got to get him out of here. So let's get him in and out fast so he could get his ghoul mask on and get to stage.
Yes. Not the same ghoul mask that will be in the VIP bag.
That's true. Yeah.
But a different
separate
ghoul mask. Yes.
Version H.2.
Thank you. So, if you've listened all season, you know that we've talked to 1/3 of the House of Krazees, the R.O.C., and this episode, no different.
That's right.
So we will talk to him right here about this era, which we haven't even talked about.
No, that's true. We didn't even tell what the hell we're doing.
Let's do that first.
Rewind it.
This episode, today, we are talking about the return of HOK.
Yes.
I guess the first return.
Yeah, well, the return of the music. So we've been covering, their music. So this is the first recorded HOK, return. Everything that came after the whole retro horror, Lantium, etc.
So it's the slow return of HOK.
Yes.
If you've listened to our last 5 episodes, they were about the 5 albums that HOK put out. Home Sweet Home, Homebound, Season of the Pumpkin, Outbreed, Head Trauma. And that ended in 96?
Yes.
97? So as we alluded to at the end of last week, that's when Twisted left, and we're not covering the era of Scraps and R.O.C.
Someone did request we do a The Night They Came Home episode. So
maybe bonus boy.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. But for right now, we are calling it the HOK, the 3-member...
The Dirty Trio, if you will.
Yes, it died. And slowly, over the years, they feuded, they did this, they did that, they came back together.
Right.
But we are covering kind of that long term here.
Yeah.
I guess before we even we can talk about that. We should have written all that in our notes.
That's true.
I guess as Twisted is still unpsychopathic, R.O.C. kind of finds his way back into the fold.
Right.
2003
is
the first Fright Fest. And that's where we start seeing HOK bubbling up. Mm-hmm. R.O.C.'s back in the fold. They're releasing random HOK albums.
Yeah, as we discussed those previous episodes, we kind of mentioned the Fright Fest edition of like Season of the Pumpkin, the Magic, was it just Magic Records version of one of them? So yeah, like you said, sprinklings of old HOK popping back up out there.
R.O.C.'s opening for them, doing songs with them. He's got a CD on Hatchet House or whatever the fuck it was. And HOK actually does a set at Fright Fest.
Right.
So that was, until now, that was the last HOK set.
Yeah.
Song, series of song, live performance.
And we never got a clear indication of how long that was. Like, was it just 4 or 5? Like, was it a tiny one? Like...
I don't know.
We asked some folks who were there, and they a little hazy too on memory because it was so long ago. Yeah,
I didn't get any good answers out of that.
Yeah.
But then over the years, as you may or may not know, Twisted leaves Psychopathic. R.O.C. is also obviously not there. He joins them on Magic Ninja. And you get a random sprinkling of HOK songs here and there.
Right.
You get some merch, you get some singles. For the past 4 years, there's been the Songs of Sam Hain
very fun
album,
series.
Which is all Halloween themed. And you get a sprinkling of, there's an HOK song on here. Or they dropped a couple, digital singles. Mm-hmm. Or a random single here, there, 2 records that we will talk about. Mm-hmm. And that covers... fucking 15 years. Right. It's a long time, more than that, 20 years. And that's kind of what we're all encompassing right now is the in-between album HOK era.
Like you mentioned, it was like a sprinkling like here and there and pop. And then at the time, they did not own the name House of Krazees. That was still owned by the previous manager. So like, yeah, it kind of pop up as we mentioned, I think last week a little bit. The Sammy Wish codes popped up, then it kind of disappeared. Then HOK pops up. That like fizzles away. And back when we covered Homebound, when the video from the DVD of them rehearsing it, like I don't think we talked about them, but it's clearly them practicing it before they played it live at that after party. So like, yeah, that's first time that pops up in a set since that little set they did at Fright Fest. So yeah, it was always a little up and down, like. And I think R.O.C. will touch on it too, where it's like, oh, are they back? Oh no, maybe not. So yeah, everything in that gap was up and down, and then all of a sudden here we are, like this, this album finally coming.
Yeah, we're dropping, we're going 100 miles an hour now. So let's hear from the R.O.C. We're going to hear a couple different things from him, a couple topics about that era. I say era, and again, it's fucking 20 years, but we try to encapsulate it into a quick little conversation. Right. So we're going to hear our conversation right now about that time.
That time.
With the R.O.C. Over the years, HOK has reunited for song here, song there, after parties, random shows. You had an official reunion at Fright Fest 04 in Massachusetts, and that was really your last show as HOK up until Fright Fest 23, where you guys opened up as HOK. Right. How did you feel coming back to open that show after that whole time? Was that a nostalgic rush for you?
What I want to ask is, how did you feel seeing it?
I think I popped hard.
Yeah, we've explored this a lot. It was
ditto. Same thing for us. It was huge because it's because we're reuniting, and it's like, yeah, dude, yeah, like because you just never think, after the breakup and this and that, like, will you ever be back? And then, okay, we're back cool again, and we're doing music, and will we ever do some shows again or this? So it was kind of the same for us. It's just like, wow, we're about to do this again. Very cool, man. Very cool. And then, us three standing up there, and then the house, and then you're just like, oh. So it was cool. It was really cool for us too.
And being back on that stage that we talked about, the St. Andrews stage that you had that footage from years ago.
Right. You're back at St. Andrews. It's just like, whoa, almost full circle moment. Like, you're like, whoa, fire circle. Come on, guys, fire circle. Like, whoa.
We use lighter fluid this time, no gasoline.
Lighter fluid, right.
And that was actually Fright Fest 22, not 23.
22, that's right.
Because last year
it was 22,
so
23, yeah.
Before 22. Anyone says I didn't know what I was talking about.
You guys bleed together post-pandemic.
They kind of do, and they're all at the same venue. I remember stuff of where we were standing.
Yeah.
So I remember Green Book, we were back and to the right. But for that HOK, we were by the bar to the left.
Right next to the bar for that show.
Yeah, and when that popped up in all three, it was just like, oh, shit.
It was just like, oh.
It's one of those where maybe the 1,000 people there, who knows how many of them were HOK fans. Some of them, like, clearly could be Twisted,
absolutely,
rock band, Warped Tour fans.
1,000%.
Some could be most tasteless. Some could be whatever.
New, and, and hopefully, I kind of like that, and maybe it'll gravitate. They'll gravitate towards, a little bit of other stuff.
And the people who knew, it's like, we are the percentage that are like, this is fucking awesome.
For sure. Right?
I mean, that's always been a joke between us. Like, oh, this after party's gonna be the HOK show. This is the one. They're gonna bust it out.
And over the years, there were like, you'd throw little bones in there, like, oh like shit, that. You guys are doing Homebound. Like, that's crazy. Right. Like, it's a little throw, a little nod to the people who know.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, do we even talk about like the random songs?
Yeah, unless I guess if you had any memories on some of the newer tracks that you guys did.
Yeah, over the past, we're talking like the past 5 years.
Yeah, the ones that kind of randomly dropped
a handful of songs.
Yeah, for me, it's just always, it's just kind of one of those moments when we get together and we get to, do something as HOK. Like the latest was, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me because my brain is always all over the place, would be Monoxide Chainsmoker 2 album. That's the latest HOK track?
I think so. We're talking maybe over the past, we'll call it 7 or 8 years, a dozen tracks that even you guys, and we make this joke too.
So
like,
it's a joke, running joke on.
If you, this is a whole nother question. Now we're going to interrupt the question with a question. If you three are on a track today, do you consider it being HOK, or do you have to get in a mindset of it's a sound and it's a thought process of the lyrics, or automatically you three in a room?
I think, and that's what I think it is. That's what I think it is. That's why I like, and that's why. And again, I know I'm answering, for them, and I probably shouldn't answer for them, but I'm just going to. I think that's why we don't do a lot of. Well, why is R.O.C. never really on Twisted's albums? I think that's part of the reason. It's like, then you put R.O.C. on here, and it's just like a House of Krazees song. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of what it is with us all the time. It's like the three of us. It's like, I was going to say it's an HOK song. Like me when I had a Digital Voodoo, and them two were on the one song with me on Digital Voodoo. Even though it's not HOK, again, it's just kind of always that vibe. You're just like, oh yeah, it's just House of Krazees, but it's not. But it is. But it's not. But it is. You know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah,
here's our list. I'd say it's about 20 songs, and some of them we crossed off because, like we said, it's like, oh, that's just Twisted and R.O.C.
Right.
But you get like Curse of the Jack-O'-Lantern,
100%,
awesome. Death Talk, Night They All Died, Mother Witch, The Host.
The Host.
Death for Anyone Who. Like some of those are those are straight HOK. So like you get
Death for Everyone dropped. I was like, oh shit, here it is. This is like something
This is it. Right, for sure.
Anything that's on those. But yeah, give or take, like you said, some of them are like, is Monstrosity just because the three of you were on it? Are you HOK
Stuff
and
like
these
that.
guys?
Yeah,
no,
for
but
sure.
It's a mindset in my head. So.
Yeah.
We always argue that with other groups. Like when you're a super group, like
such a thing in this like subculture of music. Like other music is like, oh yeah, that's them. But then here it's like, well, is that really them?
Is it really them? Because
if Blaze is on your CD, that doesn't make it like that's a Zodiac song. It's just
Zodiac.
You guys are doing whatever.
For sure.
Speaking of, we need to know one of those. I love that one.
Speaking of, I'm gonna go listen to Curse of the Jack-O'-Lantern on the way home.
Leaves are falling.
God, those CDs, jeez. But you're right. To your point, Night They All Died is probably the most recent one.
Yeah, the recent. Night They
time.
All Died. Yeah, it's probably the most recent. Yeah.
So looking back at HOK, short window, like we said. I mean, we're talking 5-6 years.
Yeah, right.
Such a large gap until those 20 songs came out, and now we have a show coming up at St. Andrews Hall. 31 years since. How do you feel about this? The reunion show, the new album, the aura of it coming back, and your place and your impact in the culture of Detroit hip hop. We call it Detroit hip hop. We don't. We don't say.
No, I totally understand because
we're not saying horrorcore, but
because
we try to avoid
it.
That.
It is. It's all under that
scene.
umbrella of hip hop, and it is. We definitely are looking forward, to this show on the 29th. I cannot wait to people hear this new project. Jesus. Oh, you guys. People have no idea what we have created for everyone. And then the show is just going to be, it's going to be so awesome. So we're hyped. We're real hyped. We're not super hyped right now, but of course, as it gets closer, you
feel it in the air. The leaves are changing. You get a little chill.
Absolutely, you really do. Yeah, get your hoodies and your jeans, and your campfires, and man, it's about to be that season. So we're definitely looking forward to this. Yeah, basically a reunion show. Us doing a full-fledged set. Even at Fright Fest, it wasn't a full-fledged set. We haven't did a full-fledged set in, oh my goodness, man.
I mean, it's 20 years since it was Fright Fest 04, right?
There you go. So it's been forever us doing a full-fledged set as House of Krazees, and House of Krazees being the headliner.
Because even that, I think, was probably a short set, I imagine.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We have a friend who went to that show in 04, and he's like, I saw their last show. Hearing this, he's like, I gotta come back.
It's just like, you gotta come back. Right, for sure. And it is, so yeah, we're like full-fledged set, prop, stage prop, we're gonna, put it all in, for the 29th show. So, we hope, we can have people so packed that people are hanging out of the doors. We want it to really, be something that everybody can have an awesome time at. We want to make it memorable, because again, as you get older, of course, these opportunities and, blessings that you have, they come far and few, and few, man. So, but yeah, we are gearing up for a good one. Oh, we're gearing up for a good one. Yeah.
All right, that was our conversation with the R.O.C. Not the last.
Good friend of the pod. I'm going to miss him.
Well, we may still hear from him.
Maybe.
There's a little more.
Maybe he'll be the third guest on Chris and Chris in the morning when me and Blaze start our sports talk radio show.
You think he has it in him to talk sports?
He'll be our call screener.
Now, what am I going to do?
You're the producer.
Oh, Jesus.
Keep us on track.
That's impossible. All right.
Yes.
So that was our conversation with R.O.C. talking about all these random singles, what makes HOK.
Yeah.
Lots of different tidbits there. So
it's one of our favorite things. If you went back to the Lotus season, something we always touch on there, like, oh, is this a Lotus song because they're all together? No, it doesn't have the Lotus vibe. And HOK definitely had that in this time frame of, R.O.C's on a Twisted track. Does that count? Is it? Oh, I don't know. Does it? It doesn't say it. Like, now they say it.
They do, and with the digital stuff, it's kind of a pain in the ass. They're like, Twisted, Monoxide, HOK.
Yeah, they put everyone's name so it shows up
Jesus.
in the searches.
It's very difficult. So that was our conversation with him, and now we're going to take that 20 years, and we're going to
consolidate it.
Yes.
Put it in a nice little box, like the box that this song we're going to talk about came in. Later, we'll get to that in a minute here.
We didn't talk. Yeah,
what are we talking about?
No, I'm all over the place. Yeah. We forgot a whole bunch of stuff, but that's okay. So yeah, before we get into our bits, we're weaving things in and out. That's fine. That's how we do it.
Weave.
No, I totally lost track. Yeah, let's talk about what we're actually talking about, and then we'll get into your...
Sounds good.
So, combining all 20 years of that kind of random nonsense.
Right.
And let's just even go over, and we can do that in a second here.
I was going back to the list we had back at the very beginning that had those on there.
And I think we mentioned a couple of these during our talk with him, but we can just run through them very quickly. Some HOK songs that people think or say are HOK. And this goes over many years here, although I think we may have missed a couple. On the Year of the Sword, that album was like from an Astronomicon?
I feel like, was that the first Astro? Or
I think it was.
That era for sure.
Don't Fuck With Us is the name of the song.
That one I can't remember. I'm going to have to go back and listen to that one.
You have Monstrosity, which I don't really know if I count that as that's the one that kind of gets away from me. I don't think that's really an HOK song. The Host?
The Host is for sure one. That's got a good HOK vibe to it.
So Trick or Treat, we'll get into in a minute, is an album. You know what? Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Let's start from... Let's rewind this.
Let's do it.
The song that we are doing this week is Death for Anyone Who.
Who?
Who?
Should put the who on the table.
Is he reachable?
I think you could reach him. Careful. Easy. Gingerly. Watch Big Kev.
All right. There you go.
There he is. Who? Death for Anyone Who.
Let's have The Undertaker next time. So, yes, we're doing Death for Anyone Who, which came out in, well, we're just skipping all over the place.
February of 2018.
Fuck it. God, we're doing it all in reverse. That's fine. We'll do Oh, everyone's going to hate this, but let's do it. Death for Anyone Who came out in, as you said, February of 2018.
That's right.
On
Twisted.com. Released with a music video, which again, go into another thing. Everything's a mess in this episode because it was a mess of an era.
It was.
We're all over the place as well.
I have it in my head. We'll get this going.
You get the trainer rolling all night long.
This song debuted on Twisted.com as a digital download in February of 2018.
And out of the blue, too. Like, I remember, I think they posted maybe just like a little glimpse of like, who wants some new HOK? And like everyone going wild. And then we'll get to it in a minute here. They have the box with the limited edition CD. So that popped up. Like, if you order this, you could hear it first before it comes out. And then they're like, oh, man, what is this? Are they like finally going to be back? Is HOK a thing now? And then, yeah, they would post the digital. I don't think it was a digital download. I think it was just the music video and the song to listen to, like, streaming-wise at that point.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess that was before not before streaming, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, I don't think they put it on Spotify, but it was just like that video and like a link to play it. It wasn't like, oh, here's an MP3 to download, like they did back in the day, and stuff.
Although people would probably rip it right away and it got around. Yeah. So yeah, well, we're calling that the video and audio debuted in February of 18.
Yeah.
Soon thereafter, as Chris said, there was a limited CD found in the HOK audio box set.
It was the audio box set 2 that they released in their series of audio boxes.
So that's where Magic Ninja kind of puts together a mystery box.
Yeah. Which still is a gimmick they do. They just had HOK one this last week. Yeah,
that's literally where I was going before. It probably may still be available if you're listening to this now.
Looks just like the same box. How many years ago? 18?
So you could find this. I wonder how many of those are there.
When I looked on Discogs, there was none for sale, so I don't think there's a lot floating around of that original CDR,
Not a lot. So the rare boy to get. Yeah. This song can also be found on the aforementioned Trick or Treat EP, which came out in 2018 on streaming and 2019 on a Record Store Day vinyl.
Yeah, so like when that came out on streaming, it was like you have a few new songs looking at it, then they threw some random Fright Fest on there, so it's almost like something they tossed together on Spotify to have an EP like in spooky season time, but the next year they put it on vinyl was a little cool Record Store Day drop, so
made it like a real
because at first it didn't feel like it, just seemed like it was tossed together. And I mean that B-side is just random singles, but it's cool to have it on a vinyl, and their Record Store Days are always fun like that. I think they still do that kind of little drop a random Record Store Day 10-inch or 12-inch that is a fun little one-off.
I think it's fun, but you're right. A lot of people do, but they also just throw shit on Spotify, and it's cool that they made an actual album. Yeah. So, that is the Trick or Treat EP. And then the next year, you get a straight-up HOK vinyl.
Little EP.
Called Post-Apocalyptic Word, which has all 4 of the songs from the Trick or Treat EP. Mm-hmm. It's got Murder, 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 the 3-verse boy.
3-verse version.
And then 1 new song, correct? Yeah. So, again, very famous for putting together a compilation and for
tossing one or two extra
song. Yeah.
But it was fun to see it because, like, okay, this was an official HOK release, like this is the lead up to where we are now as they're trickling it out there. Cool cover, too, for that one, too, with a little pumpkin guy, all crazy looking.
Which vinyl do you have?
I don't remember.
Because there's 2 different ones, right?
2 different colors.
Blue and a red?
I logged it, I know, on my Discogs.
Well, that's all that matters.
Looking at it, I haven't busted out in a minute to listen to.
You haven't been listening to our song on
vinyl? I haven't. I slacked this. I should have listened to each song on vinyl because I probably could have heard it a lot clearer than listening to the versions we've listened to.
That's also true. So, that's where you can find it. We have 2-ish HOK albums.
Yeah. Well, technically, Trick or Treat is a Twisted album. It has their logo on the cover.
That's funny.
Yeah, because it's definitely like an HOK compilation.
It really is.
I mean, the second half, Clover, Orange, Green Pumpkins, Emerald, Squash remix version.
But the first half, I mean, it leads off with 3 HOK songs.
Technically, 3, and then Madrox and the R.O.C, which then winds up on the HOK compilation.
Yeah, that's fun.
What a fucking mess.
That's what happens with the pumpkin season. That was the half Tale of the Tape.
Half Tale of the Tape, yeah.
Tale of the Tape 1. That is where you're going to find Death for Anyone Who.
But it makes sense. It kind of tells the story of this run of random HOK tracks that come and go.
So to go back, as we said, with the random HOK songs trickling through the years, the Don't Fuck With Us, Monstrosity, and all their remixes, kind of not really.
I don't count those.
But as we said, on Trick or Treat, you have The Host, Edgar Allan Poet, and Need to Feed.
Yeah, all those I give. Green light, put them in.
Fire.
Put in the HOK canon.
When It Gets Dark on the Cryptic Halloween.
Yeah. That one, I guess, technically would be Twisted featuring R.O.C, but it gets enough spooky vibe, right? I think it could go. I think we could add it. Counts.
The next couple are I'll try to do these in order.
Yeah.
From Songs of Sam Hain, you have Death Talk.
That's a fun one.
Wash. Those are both good.
I can't remember which one Wash was.
They're both good.
Yeah.
On Songs of Sam Hain 2, you have Haunted Thoughts and Paint the Town Red.
Yeah.
Both HOK. I count those. On 3, you have Mother Witch and Curse of the Jack-O'-Lantern.
Both those, I think, was my favorite 2 of the Sam Hain HOK tracks.
Of those, yeah, I like Death Talk, I think.
Death Talk's good, but man, Mother Witch, Curse of the Jack-O'-Lantern.
That's a real good one.
Both those are fun.
And then Stranglehold on Songs of Sam Hain 4. The Night They All Died on Chainsmoker 2.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. That was randomly on the Monoxide solo.
And then I don't know what these were on, but Asylum and Carve My Face.
Those were just singles they put out like on Spotify that popped up. Like, do you remember they had those and they had like the one with the rock band with like the sour candy like cover?
That was ICP at the Gathering.
Not that one. There was like a Atomic Warhead was like the...
That was ICP at the Gathering.
No, they had one. It was like...
Gummy in my tummy.
Not that one. They had the rock band. It was Rock Band that was playing. And
the Horror?
Probably them. Probably that one. But
Perpetual Life Engine.
But as I was getting it, they were dropping like Halloween treats. Like they would post like, oh, we have like 2 or 3 new tracks, and those were ones like that where they released them through there. I don't think they're on it.
Anything. I think maybe they're going to end up on the new like Cryptic Fright Fest edition.
That makes sense. That's where they'd be because if they're just on Spotify, if you're a physical media collector, you'd want those on some sort of collection. So that makes sense.
That's me.
Mine are like this. So I have to wait a whole year for the HOK vinyl because that is not coming out anytime soon.
No. So yeah, that was about, I'd say 15 or so songs that are HOK from the past couple of years.
But you know what? Those are probably all on that Songs That Make Your Ears Bleed compilation they also are putting out this week. Yeah.
We didn't even talk about that. Good call. Other songs that kind of trickled through when they came out with casket cuts.
Yeah.
So you also have the CD exclusive track, House Up on the Hill.
Yes.
And then on the tape was Reluctant Strain.
You know what? Now we're talking about it. What about the 45 that I keep trying to get that's fucking impossible? That came with a jersey you had ordered. Do you remember that?
No.
You keep going. I'll get it in a second.
I was kind of done. So.
Oh.
There's another song that I found today that I never heard before, and it was a Blaze song. And it may have, I don't know if it was Twisted on it or R.O.C. It sounded like an HOK track. It was very spooky.
Blaze?
Yeah.
Oh, these ones are out on I think Wash and Asylum. But it's a super cool 45 they put out that only came...
Asylum's the one that we just talked about.
Yeah, I thought this 45 had something that... this came out in 2020, so maybe it was originally on this first. But like... Awesome looking album art. For some reason, not coming when I click on it, but just the black and white hand drawn. But it came unnumbered of 100. It says, and it came with a jersey. You had to buy the jersey to get it. I don't remember when it was coming out, but I wouldn't have bought a $150 jersey just for a 45. But now I just want that 45. But we talked about the 2 tracks. I just wasn't sure if it was an unreleased one on there.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
As we said 18 times, that is lots of HOK trickling through. How many of these will we hear live this week?
I think the one we covered today might be one. This is a spoiler alert. This one is a banger.
If they're doing any of them, it's got to be this one, right?
I could see the Host.
Host would be good. Now we're just picking the ones that we like.
That should have been part of this episode. Is what was the set we would want to hear, and then does it line up with it?
Maybe they'll do like The Night They All Died, just because that's so new.
That's true. I could see that because they did the one Chainsmoker track at Astromicon, that was kind of fun. Something different to do.
Death Talk would be good live.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a couple good goodies in here.
When It Gets Dark would be a fun one, but that's almost like they could do that the next night. Sprinkle another Halloween track out there.
I mean, what night are you going to do Nosferatu?
All of them. All three are, come on. Halloween can do it there too. Fuck it, we'll do it there too.
Just do it everywhere. Lots of new HOK over the years.
I mean, that is a lot. When you
teasing
think about it, like, there's a lot of tracks out there.
More songs in 20 years than they did in the fucking first couple.
Hey, you take Season of the Pumpkin and Head Trim out, that's more than all the other ones combined for sure.
Pretty fucking close. Now that we have told you and teased you with what we're going to do this episode, what song we're going to talk about, because that's what we do. We deep dive into one track, and that's the one we're going to pick.
That's right.
But you're still on the fence. You want to come downtown. You want to go to Detroit. You want to see the HOK.
You want to, yeah.
God, there's so many other things that I have to do between now and then.
Right. How are you going to get excited? How are you going to count down for the show to show up?
Is there one segment that's collapsible because of our later...
That is why it's collapsible, and because I didn't go to the store. But I shouldn't do it now because we have something else planned afterwards. But you know what? I don't have a booski for you here, but I got a booski for you there.
If you see Chris at the bar before the show, he will buy you around. That's what you just said.
I'm telling you where to go before the show.
You cheap son of a bitch.
Hey, what if there's like 20 people that come up? I can't buy everyone beers. What do I look like?
For 20 fans, for 20 downloads, for 20...
Show me your Apple review.
Apple
review, and I'll give you one. Anyways.
Give you one what?
I'm not drinking. Booski. I'm not here to drink right now. I'm here to tell you where to drink in Detroit. Right here.
Here. I've lived here all my life, and I love Detroit.
You know, it's unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Lots of good restaurants. Well, I'm a single lady. I think there's a lot of places in Detroit.
I think there's a lot of energy here, lots of interesting people. I'm here. It can't be all bad.
A very exciting place to be, a very interesting place to be.
Go to 5 or 6 of the finest restaurants in the city. They can drop by Emily's for an ice cream cone.
Detroit, great town. It's on the move. Exciting.
Those good restaurants.
All right, so you're coming downtown, you've got the show, but you're a little early.
Yes.
Or you're in between. Or you don't have a hotel room, and you're like, what am I going to do in between the two shows?
Right.
So Chris is going to tell you where to drink.
So I'm going to tell you what booskies to drink in the city before, but you know what we're going to start with? No booskies. We're going to take it to the DCD tasting room. Found at Eastern Market. We talked about Sapinos a few weeks back in Eastern Market. So this is pretty close there, so if you want to get a pizza beforehand and mosey on a block or two behind there.
Or to Cutters for a burger.
That's true. That's right behind it. Or we didn't talk about this. If you wanted to get some mussels, go to Vivio's, get yourself a bucket of mussels beforehand. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for the tasting room.
We're knocking over the pumpkin lantern.
Strong drinks, delicious drinks, specialized in whiskey, gins,
listening to you.
Vodkas.
You have a lighter?
I was just there last night. Yeah, behind the bar there should be a lighter. Okay. I was just there last night for the wrestling themed party. I was just like Jesse Ventura. That's why I no longer have facial hair as we're recording this. But yeah, cool vibes in there. Dimming lights. Fancy cocktails. So if you want, if you're not a beer drinker and you want to enjoy a old fashioned or rye on fire is one of their specialties. It's a spicy rye whiskey. So the DCD tasting room. Head there.
I hope Loomis doesn't shoot at the candle. He sees the fire. He just opens fire at people.
It's time, Michael.
We have no time for that. Bullet to the dead teenagers. Anywho,
I have a permit. When he pulls out his gun to
now that part I
did
this weekend when I watched the original Halloween.
That scene always pops me.
That, and then that was right behind the one where, he knows how to drive now. Somebody must have taught him.
He was doing pretty good fighting last night.
Oh, fuck.
So, yeah, that's if you want to get, you want to get your fancy cocktail on. But, maybe you want craft beer. So I have a few craft beer spots you can stop at. One of them is Krazees. It's a 7-Eleven. 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 It's a 7- First of all,
I was just going to go in a totally different direction, but you go ahead. Craft beers.
My favorite brewery in the city, Batch Brewery. We didn't mention that. I think we mentioned them maybe the first week. Pretty solid wings there. They smoke their wings. So they got a menu. You could eat there as well.
Where is that?
It's in Corktown. It's set back a little bit in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So it's a good one if you're going to the city and it's busy. This one's set back and there's plenty of street parking right by it. We went to Corktown one time, couldn't park anywhere. Every restaurant jam-packed. Batch. They got a big, it might be chilly right now, but they got a big outdoor patio you could sit at. But right now they probably got a bunch of German beers on tap. They always do, their Oktoberfest. They're the one that has a banana-y flavor to it. I can't think of the name of it. Hefeweizen or whatever, So good craft beers at Batch. Good food, good vibes there. And right down the street from there is Brew Detroit. Pretty cool. I haven't been there in years, but they have some pretty good beers. They have Cerveza del Rey. Good take on a Mexican beer there. They have a few like sours and whatnot. And last time I was there, it's just a big old office building that they gutted and put
whole office building.
They put like a bunch of like games and stuff you could play in there. And I'm pretty sure you could bring in your own food there, so you could get carry out, bring it in, eat, and try the beers. I don't know if they still do, but they used to brew Kid Rock's beer. So old badass lager used to be brewed there. I don't know what it is anymore, but right down the street you could check out Brew Detroit by Batch, both of them in Corktown. And then while we're in Corktown, one of my personal favorite bars, we talked about one a couple weeks ago, the Bronx.
Yes.
Cool vibes, awesome atmosphere. Another great atmosphere, the Lager House right there in Corktown. It used to be PJ's. Still kind of has the vibe of PJ's, but a little cleaned up, a little different. They have a little speakeasy downstairs with the DCD boys, are the exclusive cocktail downstairs. But upstairs, good cheap beers. They have PBRs for like $2, I think. Also there, I don't know if it's as good as it used to be when it was PJ's, but Cajun food. Get yourself a po' boy, get yourself some gumbo. So it's a fun bar. There could be a band playing like randomly after the show. You want to go see someone else, it could be a local band playing there. Good time. That's an awesome venue for a show. So sure, check out Lager House if you want a nice dive bar, nice couple regular beers. But if you want the ultimate bar atmosphere, take a little trip down to Hamtramck.
Little drive,
but right next door, down the street, you could get yourself a doner kebab. So great food around there if you want. You go to Yemen Cafe.
Yeah, there's
some galaba.
Non-stop food down there.
Yeah, but Bumbo's, man, awesome vibes. It's like the scene in Goodfellas when they walk in the bar and there's just a glowing like red light. They have the big Bumbo sign in the window, just glows red all over you. Awesome vibes in there. They got a little pool table if you want to play pool. Sometimes they have a pop-up there for food, but that's an awesome bar. If you're just looking for somewhere to hang out, I'll give you Bumbo's. And then one last one I have there.
I think we've talked about this before, but last Halloween I took Pittsburgh Steven Christmas there.
Oh yeah, did they enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good.
I better have. I'll beat their ass if they have more bad words to say about Bumbles.
I think Steve scored some coke in the bathroom.
Well, that'll happen to you.
Yeah, that may or may not have been happening. Not to us three, but
that happened to me at the Bronx. I went to use the urinal. The guy goes, "Let that white boy through. Get all that cocaine off your mustache." I was like, "What's going on in here?"
While we're talking about what we did last year, before we go off, we went to Bumbo's after we went to another bar in Corktown, the Nightmare on Bagley.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they have the Halloween-themed bars out there. You said that one was terrible?
Terrible as fuck.
There's another one, though, that just opened that looked like it could be better.
I see them all on Instagram. Yeah. It's like the
influencers are always there.
There's like the 20 places to go in Detroit, the bars that are pop-ups for the season. And now I'm scared. I want to take them to another one that looks awesome, but I'm scared because this one was so fucking bad. Nightmare on Bagley is kitty corner from Mexican Village, which fucking Mark-ass Steve needed to take a picture in front of. So yeah, we went from...
So don't go to that one is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
We went from... We tried to go to Cutter's. We tried to go to the tasting room. We tried to go to... and we didn't get those. And they both thought I was a lunatic because they thought I was mad, but I wasn't. And then we went here, and then we went to Bumbo's.
Okay.
So for two straight-edge kids driving a little troll around, we hit a lot of bars.
Nothing wrong with that. My last bar, you've been to this one? Hopcat in Midtown.
I've been to that one like once, but I've been to the one in Royal Oak and Ann Arbor more often.
Did you go? You didn't go to the shooter show there with me, did you?
The one that was upstairs?
Yeah. We played with Waylon's band.
That show was fucking bonkers.
What a cool venue that only lasted for like 4 months.
Yeah.
Anyways, Hopcat. Tons of beers. It's not a brewery, but they have tons of beers on tap. All sorts of craft beers. French fries there, phenomenal.
Famous for their crack fries, as they call them.
Yeah. Burgers, your usual bar fare. So if you're looking to eat and get some beers, that's a cool place. Big, tons of space, and you're going to be... oh, no, they're not at the Majestic, are they? I was going to say the Hollow Wicked would be... That's Masonic. Let's say if you're there, that's a good one close by.
But the night before, on the 30th, they are at the Majestic.
Yeah, so if you're at that, that's right across the street. It's walking distance. Plenty of space there, so... Hopcat also... Good spot. And that's all I'm going to leave it at. I don't want to overwhelm people like we did with the burgers a couple weeks ago. These are just a few bars, a few breweries, a little bit of whiskey for you to wet your whistle before you see any of the sights and sounds.
And for anyone who questions, we're just naming shit. We're not like, we're just looking on Google.
These are personal preferences.
In the past weekend, where have I been?
I seen you at Mercury, yes?
I was at Mercury. I was at Astoria. I was at, what's the other bakery? The coffee place downtown?
I
always forget the name of it.
Yeah, the one we randomly stumbled into that talking about the coffees.
Yes. Yeah. I was there. I was somewhere at Buddy's Pizza.
Yeah.
So
I said I was just at the tasting room last night for the wrestling extravaganza party.
If I could go backwards.
Yeah.
We talked about desserts and ice creams a couple episodes ago, right? I found this place and I want to go, and now I know where it is and I'm dying to try it. The Peach Cobbler Factory? Peach Cobbler Cafe? Peach Cobbler, whatever. There's a couple of them around. There's one in Canton and there's one downtown. It's right when you're walking from the stadiums towards Greektown.
Yeah.
And you cross by that, like, the Buffalo Wild Wings. It's there, like, up to the left. It's huge. It's bright. Their shit looks amazing.
I love peach cobbler. So
it's not necessarily peach cobbler, but it's just...
I'd assume they'd carry it, though.
I think they do. But there's it's like a southern twist on the ice cream. So to go back... So yes. A, that. B, I did 4 of our recommendations in like the span of 48 hours. Yeah. So this isn't just bullshit. This is the shit that we like.
That's right. You can plug it in right here. We had a phone call for a recommendation that we missed from Cousin Aaron.
So many recommendations.
I have 2 things. You left out 2 pizza places that should have gotten a recommendation. Grandma Bob's in Corktown. Great place. Detroit-style pizza. Also, in any respectable juggalo in town for Hollow Wicked and Fright Fest should venture to one Southwest Detroit restaurant at least. And the Southwest Detroit pizzeria that you forgot to add was Sicily's Pizzeria on Burner near L Club. So, and everything is good at Sicily's, but what you need to order is the benchmark. Go get a large benchmark. It's not on the menu. I don't know if it's necessarily a secret menu item, but do yourself a favor and go order the benchmark. Owner there, super awesome, nice fella. That's all. Whoop, whoop.
I almost needed that for burgers, but then I just ended up going to Mercury. So much shit going on. Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Those are our recommendations, our last minute recommendations if you're coming into town, where you can go if you just want a bar hop. Or just follow one of the million fucking Instagrams where it's like, what bars to go to in Detroit?
Yeah.
So
maybe we should just do that. We should just scrap this and just do that.
Do the Juggalo version of it?
Let's get out of here.
With our ghoul masks?
With the ghoul masks on the pedal pub.
Oh, Jesus. There were a lot of those over the weekend, too. All right. So now you know where to go.
Where to go.
You're going to go to the concert.
That's right.
You know where you're going to drink, but you're sitting in the hotel room in between shows just jerking your boy. So
sure. Why not?
you got to fill the time somehow.
Got to get the nervous energy out before you see the HOK reunion.
Or after, and you're waiting for a twist.
Like, man, what a show.
You're fucking like Brian O'Halloran. He's like a soil in the hotel room.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly.
Not allegedly. Oh, boy.
But what are you going to do in that hotel room? Maybe you want to watch a movie.
Not this one.
What movie are we going to watch? This is where Chris gives us his spooky season HOK movie review of the week.
Don't you believe it, group? It's the same schlock all over the place. We got the same bad movies, about 17 cents invested in them. As a matter of fact, after the first reel, get your air freshener out because that stuff is bad. These movies stink, I want to tell you. Ain't that right? Camera 4.
Oh, boy. So, as I said last week, I like cinema. I don't know if I like it this much, though. Anyways, here we are. HOK spooky movie lore history review, whatever you want to call it. This one, I guess I could have just perused, as we said, the decade of HOK shit that was coming out, but what I went with was the track we're covering.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
And it was the music video. So, what was that music video? It was clips of the 1991, I believe it was.
It was 91?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I thought it was like way earlier than that.
So that was the point. They wanted it to look like 1990. So the director said that he wanted it to look like it was not from the 1920s. They looked like it was found from the time of Christ. If not before, he said.
That's great.
So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the 1990 horror cult film, as it's listed here, but I would call it art house bizarre shit. Begotten is what it's called. And I did not watch the whole thing. I'm going to tell you right now, I tried watching it. About 15 minutes in, I'm like, what the hell is this? So I started scanning a little bit, and I'm like, okay, here's something else happening. I'm like, oh my God, this is even worse. So I started scanning, and I go, this is even far more bizarre. So what I did, scanned it all. I was like, this is disturbing, beyond disturbing. So I went to a YouTube video of a guy giving me a breakdown of what it actually was. So I kind of got the gist of it too watching it. So it is about God, the God, any God, I guess.
Do you want to tell everyone what you told me first?
What did I tell you first?
About when I asked if there were samples from this in the song?
Oh.
I think that's a very important part of this.
Yeah. So the movie has no dialogue whatsoever.
That's super important.
It's about an hour and a half long, hour 20 minutes long. Feels like 5 in the little bit I watched.
There's no dialogue.
No dialogue. There's nice ambient sounds until you realize some of the sounds like just flesh plopping shit falling out of the body. So the movie just opens. There's like a little thing in the beginning, which is in the beginning of the music video. It's like a little text on the screen. And it just cuts this like leather face looking almost like a Zool mask sitting in a chair, and it's like convulsing. And then it just starts cutting itself open. And it's like an ungodly long scene of this thing just like sawing its body.
Is it graphically
No,
gross?
because it's so hard to tell what's happening. Like it's, as he said, he wants it to be like it's found footage from the time of Christ or before. So it's like all blurry, hazy, but then like it's point you see it just like plopping on the ground. You kind of hear that noise. So the story is apparently God or a God cutting himself opening, begotten his body and letting it all out, and then it's Mother Earth comes out, and then she impregnates herself with the corpse of that body that cut himself open, and then gives birth to this thing. It's like a half man, whatever it is. It gives birth to it, and it's just like convulsing on the ground, all weird. So she drags it along from the umbilical cord into a patch somewhere out, pumpkin patch maybe, I don't know, probably not, out in the desert.
I got a rock.
Then leaves. That's what the movie review should have been. Charlie Brown Halloween would have been so much more enjoyable. So he leaves it there, and these like nomad creatures show up. I'm like, oh, maybe they'll rescue it. Oh no, they do horrible things to it. Horrible long things to this creature that's there.
Define horrible.
I don't even want to say. Then they burn
Well, you texted me about it, so you gotta tell everyone else.
I can't remember if they have intercourse with it before or after they burn it alive. Then the mother comes back, and then they take her and do horrible things to her.
Oh, well, that's disrespectful.
Yeah. And then, yeah. Weird art housey, like I said. Scenes are like really close up, graphic of like just body parts, but you can't tell what part it is. It's all hazy and weird. Yeah. I'm going to give it 0 pumpkin ghoul masks.
0 pumpkin ghoul masks.
Maybe I'll give it a half. maybe I'll give it a half or 1. Okay, I'll give it 1 because it is for a 1990 movie. God bless it, this thing's intense and like the ambient music's kind of nice. The ambient sounds, all right.
You think he'll just leave it on in the background like a Yule log?
God no. I feel like I wanted to shower after watching it. But this also ties into old HOK samples because they sampled a lot of Marilyn Manson, his own samples of like Charles Manson things. So he apparently was a huge fan of this. Shocking. So he loved this movie and he contacted the director to make a music video for it was Crypto Child from Antichrist Superstar.
Yeah, I saw you make that note, but
Yeah.
I didn't put 2 and 2.
So that music video is like a lot of clips from this, like, and then spliced with like footage of Manson looking like the same like style.
Oh,
Yeah. So maybe that's where Madrox got it because it seemed like he was a big Manson fan back then. But even though this is a modern, it's not like it's 1996 HOK sampling it, but a little tie back to their old school sampling.
and now you have. Fast forward, you have the Funeral Portrait, who's opening for Fright Fest, who opened for Manson.
Look at that, everyone. Full circle. Maybe they'll just play this movie on in the background during their set.
Maybe Marilyn Manson will be at Fright Fest.
You never know.
Never know.
So I think you should watch Begotten now.
This is your gimmick, not mine.
It was fun, man. We had some good ones. We had Halloween 3. We had Fear No Evil was a RA movie. Last week we had that documentary. That was kind of fun, bizarre, but this was just disturbing beyond all hell.
Well, you've been marking out for it for so many years, and now you finally watched that.
Well, I guess those scenes looked disturbing in the music video, but I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know how long some of them scenes like linger, like just close up, right up on there, and it just goes on for 15 minutes.
Ugh.
The little druids are kind of cool, look like Ewoks, or like they look kind of like, the album Sleep Dope Smoker? The little Weedian guy who walks through the desert? Almost like that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But yeah, Begotten, if you watched it, let me know. Or if you did plan to watch it, let me know. My goodness.
You should ask Sam Sanchez, our old PT buddy.
Yeah, he was the movie buff.
I bet he would know.
Art house guys. Weirdos, man.
I bet Jim would know. He texts us sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
He lives in Wisconsin. He does artsy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to know if anyone else has sat through this and watched it. So I was reading comments, which is hilarious on the video, because there's a YouTube, I watched it on YouTube. It's like the only place I see it anywhere. And the comments are so funny. Like, people are saying shit. The one guy goes, first time I seen this was coming off an acid trip. It still haunts me to this day. I'm like, what a maniac.
That's about right. They all can't be winners. Thank you for the spooky movie review. And now,
yes,
we'll have to timestamp because our buddies like timestamps. Yeah. We're going to get into the song, finally.
Finally, here we are.
Even though we've done the Tale of the Tape 1, now we're going to finish
Part 2.
Tale of the Tape 2, which only really has one fucking note. Death for Anyone Who. The Return of the HOK. Time on this track, we are clocking it at 3 minutes and 28 seconds.
That's it. That's a solid track. That's a full track. We're not skimping on this one. We're giving you the full meat and bones of HOK.
And producer, we have been told, we hear through the grapevine of the internet, that it's produced by Fritz the Cat.
I know. I wish we would have looked at a note before we talked to him and asked him if he. When we talked to him, we kind of asked if he did anything, but he's like, "Yeah, I think so." Here and there. Like, even then, I don't think he would even remember.
Yeah, little vague ideas. Yeah. And as we already said, this was debuted online with the video. It came in the CDR and the audio box for HOK,
right.
Trick or Treat EP, and Post-Apocalyptic Word, and can be found on, obviously, Spotify. And
that's right.
All that stuff. We picked this because, I don't know, we're just marks for the song.
Yeah, but I think this was the first, one of, that batch. I was looking at the back of this. I think that was the first one that popped up on the internet to, signal, oh shit, maybe they are coming back.
There were some randomly before then, but they could have just been twisted in R.O.C.
Yeah, just tossed around. Where this, they even promoted it as
HOK, yeah. And then fucking 6 years later, here we are.
Yeah.
And it's a banger song.
Yeah, it is, 100%.
So, let's get right to our notes.
Let's do it.
Has a nice little intro for Death for Anyone Who.
Right.
We should note, Death. The number 4. Any. The number 1. All one word.
That's right.
Who? ...
Oh,
yeah. Well, it's on all of them.
Yeah. ...
The ellipse, as they call that.
Yes.
Right?
I think so.
Okay. Death for anyone who.
Yes.
Intro, 27 seconds.
As I just said, they give you the meat and the bones.
Yeah,
that's not too bad, though.
That's what happens, but it's okay. And you think that this is Madrox?
I think so. It sounds like him to me, doing a voice.
I don't know.
Maybe sped up a little bit or something, but it definitely sounds like his voice to me, especially at the end when he's like, kill me, says something all weird.
I don't think so, but that's for you.
What do you say? Leave it in the comments below.
Good job.
Kill you all. I'll drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. I'll make the nightmare you ever had. My worst dream come true on everything ever were.
First verse.
Yes.
Mr. Bones. And how do you know it's Mr. Bones?
He lets you know.
He tells you right away. It's Mr.
Yes.
Bones.
It's Mr.
Coming fucking hot
right
from the beginning. Do you remember the skeleton that came to get you? Do you remember the bloody knife that painted? What did you think that said?
The bloody knife that paints a picture is what I
paints the
think.
picture. Yeah. I think you're right. That's a interesting picture. A bloody knife painting a picture because it's. I don't know.
A little splatter like he splattered monoxide in that video shoot.
He's so fucking mad. Pumpkin masks on the faces. Killers of babysitters.
Yeah, super cool.
Reference to
there.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Witches of Samhain.
Got me right there. I'm like, all right, here we are. This is exactly what I want from modern day HOK.
And
Pumpkin mask, killer babysitters, Witches of Samhain. You give me it all right here.
And you were rapping fast,
yeah.
too. Random people up and away die in pain. Because it's crazy to remain awake. Blood in my liking, opportunist. Sharp object, right place, right times.
And yeah, like you said, the way he's delivering this is all fast, like punctuated. Like, yeah, he's hitting all sorts of shit in this.
It is. Well, we'll get to that. We'll wait until after this. I don't understand this. Vine's telling me to do this and drag him right back to the pumpkin patch. It's like literally like the vines
it's of like the pumpkin patch. Evil
like
Dead, where the tree vines come and like grab her when the spirits, you know.
The tree shop, not the tree shop before. What's the name of Little Shop of Horrors?
Little Shop of Horrors, yeah. I'd see that. Like, yeah, he's possessed by the pumpkin patch and all the vines are coming out and telling him what to do.
Drag him right back to the pumpkin patch. Bury him 6 deep. You assume that means 6 feet deep.
Right.
Unless he's burying people 6 deep. Also possible. Bury him 6 deep without a shovel, using their hands and dig to the beat. It's interesting, like, thinking about people clawing at the fucking dirt.
Looks like the god tearing that body apart. They're like,
blood up. I don't think this is what it is, but blood up underneath the fingernails again.
Yeah.
Because you're digging, and so you're got the bloody fingernails.
Drag him back to the pumpkin patch, bury him 6 deep, without a shovel, using their hands and dig to the beat. Blood underneath the fingernails again.
Pumpkin cycle is feeding the children. Dirty chill by my otherworld forces, deeper than blood, causing timetable to change forces.
I like all that. It's like a little, makes me think of like the druids in Halloween 6 and the real paranormal stuff going along. Like,
Jesus. Feed time, sleep, while I raise a pumpkin feast. Nosferatu told the line.
Well, what's the line that he's talking about that Nosferatu told?
Is he talking about that, or is he talking about the chorus?
Yeah.
Because Nosferatu, and I have another note about that. Okay. So, yeah, nice little nod to Nosferatu.
Yeah. The OG banger of the House of Krazees discography.
So then we get to the chorus.
Yeah.
I think this is a sample. You think it's Fritz.
Maybe he could be him in the studio doing it. You know what? I should have watched the Nosferatu movies, like, you know, all the different versions. If that's mentioned, like the original Nosferatu is silent film, so it wouldn't be on there, right? That's
probably not.
But I'm like, maybe one of the other ones had them saying this, and that's where it was taken from.
So the chorus, it's very slow, and I like the beat on the song. We should have said it's very simplistic, but it's spooky and it's slow and it's nice.
Yeah, it hits the vibes of like kind of what it's hard to match like the modern HOK stylistically.
We're gonna get into this.
Yeah.
So just jump right into it. Just say it.
You know, so much better production quality, the sound, and like their skill set. Obviously, 20 years later, making music, they know what they're doing. They sound so much better. But like, hard to like replicate what you liked about House of Krazees. Like a lot of the sampling and a lot of like the DIY vibe of it, which made it enjoyable. Hard to like make a modern version that sound cool. This song somehow sounds like, you know, sounds modern, but still gives you enough of that vibe that like, oh, it connects. The linear line connects to that early HOK stuff.
It's the talking about what they did, like the topics, but with much more honed skill.
For sure, 100%.
Both musically and lyrically, and the ability of them rapping.
Yeah.
It's, if we're going to skip ahead, it truly makes me look forward to this new CD.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if it's anything like this, could be one of my favorite albums they've dropped.
Yeah. Even just, I'm not to be a fucking mark, but I feel like they're getting better and better.
Yeah.
Like even Monoxide's last, Chainsmoker 2, he sounds better than he ever did.
Oh, yeah,
and the
100%.
production is better and better. Even now it's getting better and better.
Yeah.
So to put all that into an HOK album,
right?
Fuck.
I mean, we mentioned the songs of Sam Hagen series. All of those, even the ones that aren't considered HOK, like the vibes of it, cool, spooky, but yeah, their rap skill set's awesome. The production sounds awesome on it. Yeah,
those CDs are great. I listened to all those today, not in order, in random order.
But did you go down to your OCD order of things?
I think I did 1, 3, 2, 4.
Is that your favorite? Is that in your favorite order?
No, I think I would go 1, 3, 4, 2. Maybe.
Oh, 4 up there above 2, huh?
I kind of like 4.
Yeah.
4 is not all twisted. There's like those 2 Blaze tracks that are awesome.
He's got a banger on there.
There's the D4L song.
That's fun. That's so cool.
But yeah, I don't know. I like 4.
Yeah. It grew on me. At first, it was like not spooky enough, but I'm like, I kind of dig it now.
2, I think, is last. 3 has bangers.
Yeah,
but so
the In My
1.
Head track is woo-wee.
That P3-1,
yeah,
great. But the first one has a fucking Haddonfield. And,
that's a fun one.
That's tough. 1 and 3 are both really good. If you're going to make a tiebreaker, the art for 3.
The art for 3 is the best. Yeah.
So that pushes it above. Anyways, back to the chorus. Death for
anyone?
Who opens this casket.
Yeah, the way they chop that up. That's why I feel like it's someone re-recorded that, because it hits perfectly the way it's like, opens the casket.
But then the part that's like, let them rest in peace. It seems like it's from something. I don't know. Now, this is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You're thinking this is death for anyone who opens the casket, let them rest in peace. You're talking about like the vampire or the zombies or whatever.
Okay. Kept in her head.
No, this is me thinking. This is me telling you, here it comes. Yes, the meme. I got you. I know. I think this is HOK. You should have let them die, but now you wanted them back. Don't open the casket, because you're about to get what you're about to get.
A little prelude, huh?
And here it comes.
I like that.
Should have just let them rest in peace.
Yeah.
But nope, everyone wanted them. Everyone clamored for it.
Yeah, we have.
Got to pry open that casket, and boom.
Blow the dust off of their bodies.
Here it comes.
Polish up that ghoul mask.
And you get what you ask for. Verse number 2, R.O.C. Nighttime, dark rhymes, rewind.
Why don't we just sample that rewind line? Make it part of this.
Don't think I didn't circle that. I need to remember to grab that somewhere.
Nighttime, dark rhymes, rewind, old school with a new mind.
Old school with a new mind.
The beat kind of changed up too when he says it, right? He says rewind, it goes old school. Doesn't it like change up a little bit there?
I'm telling you that I guess Fritz would have recorded this.
Yeah.
I swear R.O.C. does that for his own verses. Old school with a new mind. So I think Mr. Bones was telling them, don't open the casket. Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
And now it's opened.
Now it's like the fucking Indiana Jones. They fucking open the ark.
Well, I got to Photoshop that.
You have a little fucking HOK mask on the little guys coming up. So now that it's open, the House of Krazees are loose and an old school with a new mind.
Awesome batch of lines there, by the way.
But still murderous HOK, now faceless pumpkin mask. So here we go.
Yeah.
Circa 1993. This may be your last.
Yeah.
So old school, new school. Now we get into a series of lines of him referencing all their old fucking CDs.
The entire history here. It's so cool.
Most of, yeah. Season of Breathing, Hectic, Mr. Bones, and R.O.C. Season?
Yeah.
Season of the Pumpkin.
Drop all three of their names right after, and then you got the Dirty Trio, the little nickname.
Dirty Trio, Peep Again, We're Home. The Dirty Trio, Peep Again, We're Home. Period.
Yeah.
Sweet Homes. Streets we still breathe the breath of frightened little children.
Yeah.
So home, sweet homes.
Yeah, I love how he
Breaks
pauses,
that
but
up.
like, yeah, continues that.
Two separate sentences.
Yeah, that's cool.
Still breathe the breath of frightened little children. Nowhere to run. We're stolen. I think it's we're stolen. Minds of many. Outbreed. We on.
Yeah. I like the little outbreed we on.
Trauma to the heads. Head trauma. Evolution, we've been gone. Evolution is the CD that they were going to make before Twisted left. Them caskets we cut to make you run.
I love that it even references the compilation at the end.
Caskets make you run, tuck. The bodies set 'em, burn the witch. Now I scream on wax.
Season of breathing, hectic, Mr. Bones, and I will see the Dirty Trio peep. Again, we're home. Sweet home streets, we still breathe the breath of frightened little children. Nowhere to run, we're still in.
Gives that, no, we won't go away, not today. So this is where he's like,
HOK.
so like he just starts banging everything out. So throw your hands in the air. The style is still plasmic.
I love that he brought that. We were talking about that a few weeks back. As Monoxide or Hectic who drops that line.
So hard that you can't help but respect it. Check it.
Yeah. Home run. He hit a home run with that whole verse.
Yeah. It doesn't do it justice how we fucking read it.
No. Yeah.
But much like all of his other verses, it's not as easy as da 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 da. He's choppy as fuck with his rhymes, but it flows.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't. Like not last week, the week before maybe. Fucking mess.
Right.
But
again, like I said, with the hindsight now of all the, more talented doing this stuff, hitting it all. I also enjoy. We never talked about like frightening little children. Like I look kind of like that. The whole like Halloween the tricks. They're scaring little kids. Like I love. They kind of have that always as a little theme throughout their stuff.
Then we get to the chorus again, which I wrote. Let HOK rest. You awoke the beast. So I was bored, so that's what I wrote. But I still think it fits.
I like that. I like that interpretation.
I like that HOK.
I like the HOK. They're fun guys.
I gotta tell you, I'll make this quick.
Yeah.
I was never the biggest HOK fan. I respect it, whatever. But listening to like these songs and the fucking Trick or Treat and the songs of Sam Hain, I am genuinely excited for this show.
Yeah.
If this would have happened 10 years ago, I'll be honest, I wouldn't have given a fuck less. I'd be like, oh, we're listening to that?
Yeah.
But seeing where they've gone, where they've progressed, how they've progressed as musicians, and all these new songs, I may be like marking out.
Might put the mask on. Might go on yourself.
Yes. I'll already have my face painted orange.
For what? For 2 days later?
Anyways. So yeah, just to say this shit has me excited.
Yeah.
I'm more excited than I thought I would have been.
That's fun. See, I did it. I pulled it out of him. I made him HOK mark.
I was going to talk about this before, but we're going to say it now. We're sidestep. You were talking about how they showed all the different shit. They released the pictures of the merch for this show, and we alluded to it a couple weeks ago, but we didn't want to like say for sure.
Right.
Fuck me. There are 4 shirts of HOK that I want.
Yeah. I mean, I want all the reprints just because I'm on mark for like the original shit. So that's what lured me in for sure is the old school reprint stuff.
The Mr. Bone shirt is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's so basic.
It's technically like a reprint, but it's, redone because they never had that like faded gray style of it.
Yeah, it was always the green and yellow.
Yeah,
just a black and white look like the weathered,
cool.
And then the two, the black and orange and the purple and orange, the fucking House of Krazees. Both of those.
I like the one with the green. Those like the three masks, like with the green and orange. Like
Yeah, see, I wasn't super into that one.
I dig
but
that one.
I
It looks like
the-
something from the '90s. That's why I like it.
Yes. I like the show one, where it's got the date on the back, but it's got them three, like,
Oh yeah,
from
like
the new cover.
little bars of it.
And that's not even counting, like, the original drawing one that he did, of
Right.
the long sleeve, like. But yeah, there's fucking 4 of those and 2 CDs that I want.
Yeah, some banging merch.
Yes, I'm in. I'm all in on the HOK. Verse number 3,
That's
Hectic. Starstruck with bloodlust, contaminated in the brain, the eve was upon us. What eve? All Hallows Eve?
All Hallows Eve. Again, he still get this date wrong. Well, I guess it could still be Halloween. Now he doesn't need it to be the night before.
And we're gonna get the moonlight and when they want us. Because I can feel the murderer inside of me grow stronger.
There it is. Of course, he's going to be the crazy killer of the trio.
It's coming, next 2 lines. I don't want to sit sedated here any longer.
Any longer. He does get like that.
I want to get back to putting people in comas. So yeah, he's just choking, stabbing, chopping. Right.
I don't wanna sit sedated here any longer. I wanna get back to putting people in comas. Wanna cut heads off again and bring them home. Hang them on the wall like high school diplomas.
I want to cut heads off. I get it. Bring them home. Hang them on the wall like high school diplomas.
This feels like it'd be like a Violent J line. Those two right there hanging up the heads of the walls.
Evil's in me like carcinomas.
I suppose. Yeah, they all 3 of them have like cool flows in this one of like how they chop up the words.
And well, we'll finish this first. You haven't noticed while your throat's been razored opened, gushing everywhere like a bunch of severed hoses.
Yeah, violent trio of lines here. He was watching Begad before he wrote his.
The underground better take notice. We ain't here to make friends. Us 3 together is murderous mayhem. I
like that.
HOK are the letters you say when you see the face mask. Just know we at it again.
Yeah.
Jesus. Us 3 together is murderous mayhem. HOK are the letters to say when you see the face mask. Just know we at it again.
Like he finishes that fucking. You could say that like his verse starts off kind of weird, but fuck that.
Yeah, like the other. I say R.O.C. 100% is this. This is his track. His one. Just because it runs with all the nostalgia you hit on that, but yeah, his ends hard, like get you fired up as he rides out on those last couple lines.
Is the Bones verse the worst of the 3?
No, I don't know, because his flow is so awesome at the beginning, and
well, then who's the worst? Pick one.
The third one, I would say, but like I said, he ends on a high note, like because it just feels like his flow is awesome the way he's chopping it up. If I had to pick the last of 3,
his last couple lines are real strong though.
Yeah,
I think that leads to the whole. HOK is back. Like
like you said,
you open the fucking safe.
First one's warning you. The second one tells you like who they are, what's happening, and the third one's like, "Here we are. We're gonna fucking kill you."
Yeah, we're not here to make friends. HOK are the letters to say when you see the face mask.
Yeah.
Know we're at it again. Bam. And then the chorus, probably 18 times.
Open this casket.
Death.
Open this casket
for anyone who. Fucking banger.
Yeah.
5 pumpkin ghoul masks.
Out of 5 pumpkin ghoul masks. 100%. Yeah.
Love this track.
Best HOK track ever?
Hard
to say with the nostalgia that the old shit runs through.
Yeah, and it's
most
just,
well done for sure when it comes to like their
it's
flow
a different
and stuff.
era. You can't. That's like saying, I know this is a cliche online right now, but it's like arguing like Jordan versus Kobe
100%.
versus
Couldn't.
2 different eras.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, fucking Bill Russell was playing against plumbers. Yeah, it's impossible to say. But
yeah, always like you take Miguel Cabrera and drop him Babe Ruth era, they think he's an alien.
Yeah, but Babe Ruth now would be like us.
He'd be the plumber. He'd be the janitor cleaning up the garbage cans outside the stadium.
You have to compare it to what you had.
Yeah, it's hard to put them up against each other.
So no, you can't.
No, best of the modern bunch. We'll go with that.
At least top 3.
Yeah.
And we still have a CD to go.
Yeah.
And you throw Sam Hain Witch Killers in there, there's some bangers in there too.
That's true.
So we didn't even talk about that.
We did not. We touched on it a little last week, but yeah.
I mean,
not
like
in depth
this
enough.
week we didn't talk about how it was like
part of the modern era.
Weaved in there. So.
Yeah.
So yes, you tell us, fans out there, how do you feel about Death for Anyone?
I feel like it's kind of like slept on almost, like because it's not a twisted track, and this is something we've talked about endlessly. A lot of the new stuff just kind of gets lost because it's not in rotation of
live performance stuff. It's almost like if you're into it, you're into it. If not, it's almost like lost there. But this being just a side project too, this one I feel like should have way more love than it does.
Maybe it does.
Maybe we don't even see it out there.
It does for us. We want to make this a question every year at Astro, and it always falls off the radar. But
yeah.
Now it definitely won't because of the fucking gross ass movie.
See if they want to do a filming or that is their movie night there.
Maybe that should be during the VIP session. That should be playing in the background.
People would not want to sign up.
No.
Terrifying. Not even scary. No, just disturbing. Unsettling. Unsettling is the word.
All right.
But you know what's not unsettling? Death for Anyone. As we said, 5 ghoul masks. This got me hyped. Yeah, for sure.
I would venture to say they're going to play this. I sure hope they do.
Yeah. Yeah, if you had to pick any of the modern tracks, this one feels like you'd want this one on the list.
I hope so. So that is it. That we are wrapping up the modern era of the HOK. So hopefully you are now making your way down to Detroit, or you're already here, and you're going to see the House of Krazees live.
In living color.
Or you're like Christmas and you're coming to town and you're just going to hang out with someone else and not go see HOK.
Oh, no. Not a HOK mark, huh?
No. She said she would go if we wanted her to go, but she's hanging out with a friend. So that's okay.
Yeah. Not for everyone.
Not everyone can be part of the ghoul mask crew.
I'm down.
But whether you are in town now or you're going to be staying at home and not coming in town, if you want to follow along with the fun,
that's right,
you can follow us on all social medias.
Yes.
That's at Juggalo RWD. Use that hashtag HOK Rewind and tell us what you think, either on the social medias, in the comments on YouTube. Just let us know what you're thinking about this modern era of HOK, specifically this song.
Yes.
Or on your travels to town. Seeing what you're doing around town. If you want to meet up, you want to find us.
Yeah.
Use all social media.
Anything else that we mentioned, let us know. I'd like to hear your reviews.
And you can also do that through the voicemail or the texting. That's 810-666-1570. Leave us a voicemail. Text us. Let us know what you're doing in town. Or do the old snail mail. It's not snail mail, but it's the email.
Yeah, we don't have a P.O. box.
JuggaloRWD@gmail.com. And to go back real quick, any place you're listening to this or watching, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. All of that helps, as does sharing with your friends, whether it's old or new juggalos.
That's right.
Maybe they're your parents. Maybe they're your kids. Share it. Let us know. Join our little coven.
The mother witch.
Anything with voicemails, questions, comments, concerns, we will try to get to if we have a wrap-up show here in a couple weeks. And we already have one in the bag.
Okay.
I got it sent to me. It's not. So we'll do that later. Website, up and running, juggalorewind.com. And then if you want to listen to more of our nonsense, wrestling or otherwise, 20x20 apparel, 20x20 pod. Then we want to thank, as always, Steve for his music, Christmas for her voiceover work, and if you've forgotten or missed anything we've talked about, going to the show notes, hitting the link tree, or doing any of the bios in any of the social medias, will get you all of this information and more.
Yes.
Anything else you have before we wrap this boy up?
No, let's wrap it up. Throw it in a pumpkin patch. Let's go. Let's go carve them pumpkins.
Yes. We want to thank everyone for joining us this season. Now that we are at the concert, not literally, but figuratively,
yes.
The concert is days away if you're listening to this live. Hopefully you're in town. Hopefully you're enjoying the festivities. We may have a couple more episodes for you this season. So this one is dropping a little early. We may have a little bonus later in the week, hopefully.
Yes, we'll
and
see.
Then maybe the next couple of weeks we'll have some other ditties dropped in. Very similar.
Not P. Diddy's. We don't want them dropping in.
We'll never those slipping and sliding all over the place. Enjoy the show. Enjoy your Halloween week. Enjoy this little, not bonus episode, but early episode.
Early, yeah.
And hopefully we see you around town.
Yes, sir.
So until next time, we will... How do you end that? I don't even know what I'm saying.
I don't know.
No.
The pumpkin. Enjoy it. Happy and happy
Halloween.
All music played is owned by the respective publishers and copyright holders and is reproduced for review purposes only under fair use. Season 7 of the Juggalo Rewind House of Krazees edition is done with full participation and help from Magic Ninja Entertainment. Thank you to George, Mike, all 3 members of the House of Krazees, and everyone over at M&E for their help on bringing this project to you. Go to Ticketmaster.com, put House of Krazees in that search bar, and find your way to the 2 nights of Fright Fest 2024.
The House of Krazees.